you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10. Welcome back. We're broadcasting live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Thugs disrupt Save Rivers movement rally. Governor Chibuike Amechi accuses police and the presidency of denying Rivers people security. Channels Television satellite vehicle destroyed in the mayhem. One camera stolen, staff wounded, and some equipment damaged. Plateau traditional rulers ask authorities to be fair in handling communal conflicts. And tens of thousands of Ukrainian pro-EU demonstrators gather in the Ukraine capital Kyiv in defiance of new laws. Now all our stories can be found on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. To get us on the move, please visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. And you can also now interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android and Windows 8 platforms. If you have pictures or videos to share with us, tap on the application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and follow the instructions to share your report, pictures, and videos. Now, just to bring you up to speed with what's been happening in Rivers State, the Save the Rivers movement rally was disrupted for the second time in a row, this time by hoodlums, as our reporters indicate. Property was destroyed. Channels Television property was destroyed. At the end of the mayhem, people had to flee for their lives. The incident has since been reported to the Rivers State Police Command. The governor of Rivers State, Chibuike Amechi, has reacted to that incident. Over 30 people were reported to have been involved in causing the damage that happened in the Kana area of Rivers State today. And now to look at that security situation in Rivers State and its implication to the unity of its people, I'm now joined on the news at 10 by a retired Army officer, Captain Omar Blade Aliu. Thank you for joining us on the news at 10.
Good evening, Elumide.
Good evening. What do you make of these happenings?
We've been actually watching and observing the trend of events in Rivers State in the last 3 months. And the build-up gradually, as we count down 2015, is beginning to become worrisome. Worrisome in the sense that, for me, the security implications of what we are seeing will not augur well in the long run for both ends, both the sponsors, whoever they are, and for the polity, and in turn for the citizens, because violence is an ill wind that blows no one any good. I see a situation where whenever we have what I call democratic transition, we see a lot of traumatic things happening. The traumatization of these transition periods actually slow the country down. They have economic, social, and political implications. And what are these implications? It's not unusual for us to have scenarios where, as we count down to elections, you start seeing international actors issuing travel safety and country advice to their citizens. You may want to delay your trip to this and that area of this world because elections are about to hold. And that is because we now have a history of traumatic democratic transitions. You see businesses forshoring their investments and interests, even building up resilient plans to evacuate if things get out of hand. Everything virtually goes into slow motion once we are transiting. Okay, that is pre-elections. Then post-elections too, depending on what happens, you will see a situation where free and fair elections, which should be God-given and taken for granted, are applauded, probably because they are a rare occurrence in such areas. These are all indicators that show you that along the line, within the process chain, we've been able to build a history of doing something incorrectly.
Okay, let's look at the inside skinny of this particular circumstance. Now, it's not the first time a rally will be held in Rivers State. The allegation, therefore, is that whenever the opposition holds a rally, nothing happens. I mean the opposition to the ruling administration in Rivers State. But when it comes to do with the APC or the Save Rivers movement, then something is bound to happen. All hell breaks loose, as it were.
Yes, indeed. We have seen that trend. And from my own collations, I can say this much from an analyst's perspective. When you see such situations happening, there is a measure of insecurity involved.
Insecurity on the
part of the incumbent. Where you see, for example, let's not take any sides here. Where you see the incumbent being attacked by the opposition, then it's an expression of their insecurity and desperation. When you see the opposition also being attacked by the incumbent, it's also an expression of insecurity on his part. Violence as we know it, institutionalizing violence, commercializing violence. These days, once it's time for elections, people jump on the violence bus and make money because there are desperados out there who are ready to bankroll errants, hoodlums, to go do their bidding. There are security implications of this, one of which is simple. Most of the people that are used on the streets to cause mayhem, they actually get off the bus of these political sponsors with this impression that we are now kingmakers. That's pre-election. They are elected. Pre-elections, they are recruited, probably equipped and armed. Now post-election, they get the body language that we are kingmakers. We ushered this man in there. And what do? They begin to make demands. It's akin to blackmail. If you subject to blackmail initially, he will always come back and ask for more. Now, when the person they violently muscle into office is in office, they make certain demands he cannot meet. They now render the state ungovernable. So whoever is sponsoring these people is actually feeding a monster.
Okay, finally, should the federal government intervene? Captain Umar, you have experience in security. To avoid a security breach that may snowball possibly into a major security challenge?
Yes, indeed. We need to see the federal government intervene, and they need to do that quickly. Violence has a tendency to proliferate exponentially. We already have flashpoints in the country. We don't need more. Managing those ones is a challenge, as it were. Adding to it can only hit the polity.
You see this as a flashpoint that could
a potential flashpoint.
Be exacerbated?
Yes, indeed. I'll give you an example of what I mean. As we sit, this has happened. Just a while ago, another happened, a senator who is bedridden. Language is being spoken. The body language of people. I had someone saying something like they were going to protect themselves. People will jump on the bus of self-protection, and ultimately you are going to see something akin to what I call civil disobedience.
So where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here? This is a very wonderful challenge. We have a cycle of this recurrence anytime we are transiting. And I want to actually use this as an opportunity to call on security agencies. There is much to be done. Daunting as this looks, it's an opportunity for them to actually bring about solutions. What am I recommending? Going forward in this country, we need to bring about an induction of players, key players in our politics, pre-elections, and a debriefing post-elections. The security agencies are well equipped and can do that. I refuse to believe they won't do it.
Induction. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Unfortunately, we have to stop
exactly.
there. As much time we have for this conversation. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I've been speaking with Captain Umar Blade-Aliu, a retired Army officer, on the happenstances in Rivers State concerning the disruption of the Save Rivers Movement rally. Now to other news. Former Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Azubike Ihejirika has condemned calls by Northern elders for his prosecution at the International Criminal Court in The Hague, saying the call is ill-conceived and made out of ignorance. In an interview with State House correspondents after a church service at the presidential villa, he said the elders should thank the service chiefs and officers of the armed forces for offering huge sacrifices to the nation.
The Northern Elders should be thanking the service chiefs, my officers and myself for making huge sacrifices. First, to see that Nigeria is safe, and the North in particular, since they are the first beneficiaries of the sacrifices being made. There is no senatorial zone in this country that has not lost a personnel of the armed forces. And it's unfortunate that the same elders, if they are really elders, have not cared to send a single condolence message to the military. I think that their statement is discouraging, and it impacts negatively on the counter-terrorist effort. Because as we speak, there are soldiers that have not had a meal since yesterday because of the peculiarity of where they are at the moment. It has been a very busy thing, but I believe that very soon, Nigeria will be very happy because we have put quite a number of structures in place. I want to say that with some equipment and training we have carried out in the same place, there will be little or no hiding place for the insurgents.
The former Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Azubike Ihejirika. Now, the Gwam Jos, His Royal Majesty Jacob Buba, is appealing to members of the Special Task Force, Operation Safe Haven, maintaining law and order in Plateau State, to be fair to all citizens in the discharge of their duties. The Royal Father made the appeal when members of the Jos Traditional Council visited Riyom to commiserate with the people on the recent attack in Bachit district.
A large crowd of indigents of Riyom local government area at the Secretariat, as the Jos Joint Traditional Council members visit the local government to offer condolences to family members and the local government on the recent attack on Shonong village, in which over 30 people were killed and several others injured. After taking time to condole the people over the incident and prayers offered for peace to reign in and around the local government and the state as well as the country, the Gbongon then makes a passionate appeal for peace.
In that effect, we are witnesses to the most dastardly act that has taken the lives of so many of our people. The people who believe in God do not wish anyone evil.
The traditional ruler also advises security operatives maintaining law and order in the state not to be biased in their dealings but ensure fairness and equity in tackling the security issue.
We will continue to appeal to them to be very fair in handling these issues. We're not asking for undue favoritism, but that anybody who takes the law into their hands must be dealt with appropriately. That's all our appeal.
The Jos Joint Traditional Council also donated foodstuff such as rice, beans, plastic buckets and clothing to members of the community as means of cushioning the effect of damages inflicted by the attackers.
In the southwestern region of the country, Governor Babatunde Fashola says building projects in the state will outlive his tenure. which is terminating in 2015. He made this known while inspecting housing projects in Lekki area of Lagos. Governor Fashola insists that his administration will continue to serve the people of Lagos to ensure a smooth transition. With a population of over 18 million people in Lagos, you can't build too many houses for residents. So it becomes a priority for the state government to provide shelter. This is why the Lagos state government is quick to initiate projects like the Fairmont Garden Mixed Development Scheme at Lekki. Governor Babatunde Fashola has come to see for himself the level of work.
I was asking you, when will you finish this project? The entire project. We are looking at
The team moves to another area, the Korakete housing scheme. This phase has been completed.
This is one side of the scheme, about 280 something hectares, and you see that people are already living here, development has taken place, people are settling here. So we've delivered again on our promise to ensure that this estate is developed, and we are just going around now to see what other issues need our attention.
The governor also inspects the other phases of the estate. Houses are yet to be built in this area. Away from housing, one question on the minds of Lagosians is, will the end of his tenure signal the end of project's execution?
The life of a nation does not end with the tenure of an elected leader, and the same thing will happen to a state. The truth is that people have not stopped demanding services from me. So since they know we are going, so we can't stop because we are leaving. We must continue to serve people and ensure a smooth transition and handover.
And if government is to match words with action, at least the housing challenge in Lagos will be reduced considerably. In part 2, after the break, Lagos government to investigate the illegal eviction of about 100 families from 4 houses in Bariga. Please stay with us.